So it's been a while. Let me explain. It's a little windy, but beautiful morning here at Stratford Short Beach. Just trying to make the most out of this COVID-19 pandemic, shutdown, quarantine, all that stuff. And I thought I would share maybe just a little bit of this view with you. The sun is kind of like right behind that cloud, but it's going to break out soon. It's still very beautiful over here. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Beautiful. Let me go to my car. Gorgeous. So let me explain what's been pretty much happening over the past year and basically what I'm up to now. But first, let me just try to address all the people that have reached out to me in regards to lower back pain. So a bunch of people obviously reached out to me after watching my two videos, one on strengthening your back with degenerative disc disease, and the other one is stretching your back with degenerative disc disease. Now, one of the things that I've mentioned to most of the folks there is that I'm also now working on some videos about squatting with degenerative disc disease. And you know what? I've made some progress. But before I actually upload those videos, I want to make sure that all the content that I'm providing is going to be safe and effective, and that the research that I provide is informative. So definitely look out for that in the near future. So for starters, I turned 50 years old. It's crazy. I never thought I'd say that. But and what's even more crazy is that AARP went ahead and tracked me down and sent me a application so that I can join AARP, and I think that I will. But I think that I'm putting that off because I almost feel like once I do that, I officially become an old fart. So what's been happening this past year? Why, where have I been, and why haven't I uploaded any content to YouTube? Basically, my wife and I were taking care of my dad for about 4 years. He had Alzheimer's disease, and it was really hard. It was very difficult. He had to come in and live with us after my mom passed away, simply because we just couldn't afford a nursing home. So I can't begin to tell you, especially for those people who have never experienced taking care of someone with Alzheimer's disease, how life-changing that experience is. Basically, it's just emotionally destructive to basically see someone that you love slowly deteriorate and then forget who you are and then basically die. It's just something that is really emotionally hard to take. It basically turns your whole life upside down. So sticking to an exercise program was extremely difficult, and let alone, upload content to YouTube. So that's definitely something that has left me, really emotionally traumatized. It's an experience that is emotionally traumatizing. You go through all sorts of phases, from anger to depression to all sorts of things. I think that for me, the worst part of it all is that I started actually drinking a lot more, simply to cope with the stress. Now look, I don't necessarily have a problem with alcohol, okay? I've always been more of a social drinker. But the problem here is this. When I would start feeling stress, I would obviously crack open 3 or 4 beers, right? The problem with that is that I actually started to develop a pattern. And that pattern became a learned behavior. And that behavior okay, was teaching me stress means 3 or 4 beers to take away the stress. So that was actually something that I was dealing with. It's not like it was really bad, but that was the only way that I can cope with the stress, because that's the only thing that took it away. That's the only thing that helped. So my father passed away from Alzheimer's disease last year. Where I am right now is I really want to try to find, do a lot more, do as much research as I can on Alzheimer's prevention, because let me tell you something, man, this stuff runs rampant in my family, that and Parkinson's disease. And one of the things that I'd like to do is just definitely try to find a lot more about Alzheimer's prevention, because I got to tell you, I don't wish this on my kids. I don't want my kids to see their dad deteriorate the way that I saw my father deteriorate. I want to spare my children that expense, and anything that I can do, it's something that I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it as best as I can. All right, so now fast forward a couple of months after my father passed away, I decided to buy my very first motorcycle. It was beautiful. I had bought a Suzuki Boulevard C50, and she was just gorgeous. I fell in love with that bike. I've always wanted that motorcycle as my first motorcycle. I've always had my motorcycle license for years, but I just never had money to buy one, right? So, after dealing with all of that with my dad and everything, decided, let me go ahead and grab a motorcycle, and I had a really good time. Well, wouldn't you know it, right? 3 weeks after I get this motorcycle, some young kid comes right into my lane, just cuts me off, and I slam right into him. And I mean, no indication, no turn signal, nothing. And I went flying, man. And my face hit the pavement face first. Luckily I had a full face helmet on. I had a padded motorcycle jacket. The only problem is that I was coming home from work. So obviously I didn't have my padded jeans on, and I didn't have boots on. Obviously I can't wear that at work. So, as a result, my knees got scraped up really bad, and my ankle is bruised up. I think it got sprained. I mean, I didn't go to the hospital after the accident. I mean, I refused to. But it's now a year later after this accident, and I'm still feeling the occasional pain in my ankle, in my left ankle, and I have limited range of motion. But anyway, this really put me in a dark place. I mean, talk about kicking a man while he's down. Here I am just getting over my dad's death, and the motorcycle was a great outlet to, relieve some stress. And it took me away from drinking so much. And 3 weeks later, I went ahead and I got into this accident. So you obviously you sit there and you wonder, why me? Why is this happening? But you know what? God is good. Everything worked out for the best. And the reason why I say that is because, to his credit, the kid stopped. And he had insurance, and I was reimbursed for the cost of the motorcycle, plus I got a little bit more money for a medical claim. So what do? I go out and I buy a bigger motorcycle. This time I bought myself a Kawasaki Vulcan 1600 Classic. And man, she was beautiful. I went ahead and I did all these trips on that motorcycle. I even went to Whiteface Mountain and Lake George with that motorcycle, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience. And you know what? I am happy that I didn't give in to that, that whole situation. Like I was feeling, I was in a dark place, but I didn't stay there, I was afraid to get back on a motorcycle after that accident, but I didn't give in to fear. And I decided, let me just go. This is what I've always wanted to do. And I'm glad I did that, and it was really great, very therapeutic. I went ahead and then I traded in my Kawasaki for a Harley Davidson Road King Classic. And now this summer, I'm looking forward to having even greater times on that motorcycle. So I'm just really happy. I thank God that everything worked out the way that they did. All right, so then, right, fast forward maybe about a month after my motorcycle accident, I actually went to the AthleanX AXLive2019 event, and I met Jeff Cavaliere. Let me tell you something, that event is really phenomenal, and in many ways it's life-changing, and it definitely opens up your eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a second video, because just that experience alone basically deserves its own video. But anyway, so look out for that after this video. What am I working on right now? Well, like I said at the beginning of this video, I am working on putting together some information for those of you who have degenerative disc disease and want to accomplish something in your life. For me, that is squatting 1.5 times my body weight. And you know, that may not seem like a lot to many people, but if you suffer from lower back pain the way I do, you know that that's a huge accomplishment. And you know what? I've made some great progress. So one of the things that I've decided to do is I am going to go ahead and just put my progress up on my Instagram page. That's Blown Away CT. But I'm also going to be posting to the hashtag DDD got nothing on me. And so, I mean, for all of you who suffer from degenerative disc disease or any other type of back problem that basically immobilizes you, basically keeps you down and basically, I don't know, incapacitates you, and you have made the determination to conquer that and not let this thing get to you, then you know, you can also post on that hashtag as well, man. I would love to see your progress as well as mine. Anyway, that's it. God bless all of you. See you at the next video.